guys, this video is a kickoff to our fall garden series, and you can participate no matter what zone you're watching from. I know it's hard to believe that it's already time to start thinking about our fall gardens, but it is. What, you've never grown a fall garden before? Then you have no idea what you're missing. Don't tell summer, but fall gardening, in my opinion, is way better than gardening in the summer. For one, it's a lot cooler outside, it's much more pleasant to be out there working, and you can also grow all the fun things that hot weather won't permit, like cauliflower, broccoli, peas, lettuce. In this video series, I'm going to break down what you need to do week by week for your fall garden, no matter where you live. Don't go anywhere. Are you guys as excited about this as I am? If so, let me know down in the comments. If this is going to be your first fall garden, let me know that. And if you just found out 30 seconds ago that you're going to be doing a fall garden this year, let me know that as well. So this week we're going to be going over growing zones and first frost dates, so you know exactly what you're going to be doing, what you're able to plant, and we're all going to be on the same page no matter where you live. Then we're going to go over the cool season choices. We're going to find out what you can grow according to your frost date and some frost hardy vegetables as well. Then you're going to get some homework to find out what you want to grow, what you can grow, get your seeds and transplants, and then I'll tell you what we're going to be doing next week at the end of this video. So I put a ton of research into this video to make sure it was relevant to as many zones around the world and across the country as possible. So is that worth a thumbs up? Come on, it's right there. All right, let's get growing a fall garden. So most countries are divided into climate zones or growing zones or hardiness zones. They're called different things. Basically in North America, those zones are numbered 1 through 11, with zones 3 through 10 covering most of the population. Now, if you're outside the US, you can Google growing zone or climate zone and your country, and it will give you the information you need, and I'll tell you in a minute how to convert that information so we're all talking about the same thing. Each zone is numbered according to its first frost date, and each first frost date in the zone is 15 days later the higher the number gets. So for instance, zone 4, for example, has a first frost date of September 1st. Zone 5's first frost date is September 15th. Zone 6 is October 1st, and so on. So let's talk about what zones should be doing what here in the month of August. Now zones 8 to 11, those are shorter winter zones. Like mine, I'm in zone 10. And so at this time of year, we probably have some blank spots in the garden. And we have two different choices in August. Number one, there are a few things that we can plant that are quick to harvest. And I'm talking less than 60 days, because in about 60 days is when we're going to have to put in all of our cool season crops. Now we can go ahead and plant things like cucumbers, bush beans, green onions, summer squash. Those are all 60 days or less to harvest. Or we can just start preparing the ground and plan ahead and just in a month or so put in our cool season crops. Now if you're in zones 3 through 7, those are longer winter zones. Your first frost comes earlier and your last frost comes later. You probably actually just want to skip the summer stuff. You're not going to be filling in any summer crops because you don't really have that much time to get them to produce. Just skip all that and move right on to the main event, which is the fall garden. Now that being said, all zones at this time, even 8 through 11, need to be thinking about planting seeds either now or very soon. Now, if you're in a climate right now in any of those zones that still have days that are above 75, definitely above 80 degrees, then you're going to need to sow your seeds indoors, because cool season crops need cool temperatures to germinate. And so it really needs to be under 75 degrees to germinate those seeds. Now, I did a video in the spring about starting seeds indoors. Go back and watch that. I'll link it down below. And you can follow all the advice in there except don't use a heat mat. That would completely go against what we're trying to do right now. Okay, so let's go through the list of options of what to grow for your cool season garden. And then I'm going to give you some homework for next week. But don't worry, it's totally fun homework. And then at the end, I'll let you know what we're going to be doing on next week's video. So, here is a list in no particular order, just how they randomly are stacked in my seed pack here. Spinach, turnips, all leaf lettuces, Swiss chard, kale, bunching onions or green onions, beets, radishes, carrots, peas, one of my personal favorites, cabbages, kohlrabi, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and broccoli. Okay, so here is your homework. Number one, find your first frost date. That's where everything else starts from. Now, it's really easy to do no matter where you live. Go to Google, type in first frost date, and then either your zip code or your country, your city, and then what that's going to give you. Usually the Farmer's Almanac will come up, at least in the United States, and that's where I go. And you'll type in your zip code or however they handle it in your country, and it will give you your first frost date. Now, those aren't set in stone. Anything can happen. Nobody controls the weather, but it gives you a really good general idea of when that first frost might hit. So once you know that first frost date, that kind of levels the playing field for all of us. Referencing the first frost date instead of zones, zones cover a wide area of the country. You need to know what's happening in your neighborhood. And so once you have your first frost date, then everything we talk about is universal. So once you found your first frost date, now you're going to go online and go to a seed company. I'll link a few down below, but you can choose your favorite. And look up the varieties of seeds that you want to grow. And what you're looking for is the days to harvest or days to maturity. Once you figure out your first frost date and days to maturity, then you know if it's something that you can plant and have a harvest this fall. So for example, if your first frost date is October 15th, then that is about 64 days from the date of this video. Let's say you want to grow beets. And the seed catalog says the days to harvest for beets are 59 days. Can you grow it? Yes. Okay, let's say you want to grow broccoli, and the seed catalog says broccoli is 74 days from seed to harvest. Can you grow it? Maybe. Broccoli is actually frost hardy, and I'm going to give you a list of all the frost hardy vegetables in just a minute. But what you can also do, if you find any seed that you want to grow that's right on the line of maybe it's not going to work because of your first frost date, there is a second option. Rather than seeds, go to your garden center and get transplants if they have them. That's going to move your harvest date up a couple of weeks. So you might just be able to fit it in after all. Now the good news is a lot of your cool season vegetables are also frost hardy, which means not only do they do okay in frost, but some actually taste better. There are certain vegetables and root crops that when given a frost, they actually condense the sugars and make what some are normally bitter, they make them sweet. Kale, for instance, when it's hit by frost, it actually gets sweeter. So you see, there's no reason for you guys in cold climates to be jealous of my frost-free winters, because I gotta eat the bitter kale. No? Okay, here are some other frost-hardy vegetables. Beets, very frost-hardy. Broccoli plants actually do really well in cool temperatures, but they can withstand temperatures down to 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Brussels sprouts can survive frost. They actually do really well when days are sunny and nights are a little frosty. They will be killed by a hard freeze though. Cabbages can actually withstand frost and temperatures down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Carrots as well can go down to 15 degrees. They do in colder temperatures. The carrots are actually longer and skinnier and a little paler, but they still work. Cauliflower can go down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Green onions, bunching onions, actually can go through freezes, they can be covered by snow, and they will still keep on trucking. Now, leaf lettuces will be damaged by the frost, but you can cut that off, and any new growth that appears will be just fine. It's not going to kill the plant, it just will damage the leaves. Kale does really well in the frost and the snow. Snow actually protects it from freezing temperatures, so it does quite well in very cold weather. Leeks are cold tolerant. They can go down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Parsnips also go down to 0, and the frost will sweeten the flavor of the root. Radishes can actually survive hard freezes as well. And the workhorse of the garden, the Swiss chard, which can withstand summer temperatures if planted in the shade, like we talked about last time, or they can withstand temperatures down to 15 degrees in the winter and go through totally fine. Okay, so with all of that in mind, find your first frost date, and then go over to the seed companies, find out what you want to grow, find out what you can grow by counting backwards and using the frost date and the days to harvest. So next Sunday, we're going to be sowing our seeds. I'm also going to talk to you about how to prepare the ground for your fall crops. So let me know down in the comments if you guys are excited as I am. Let me also know if you have been growing a fall garden for a long time, and let me know what your favorite crops are. As always, if you learned something, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps me. Also, make sure you're subscribed and that the bell icon is hit so you get notified every time we upload a video. I'll see you on Tuesday.